Shalom Aleichem. It's almost Shabbos. What keeps love alive after 50 years of marriage? What keeps a marriage going? What keeps faith alive after thousands of years of our marriage to God? Someone once asked a famous author, what keeps your marriage going after 50 years? He said, we marry every day. Not just once under the chuppah, but every single day we marry anew. Keeping the relationship fresh. It's not just about marriage. It's also about our marriage with God and our relationship with God. Because in any area, when life feels old, routine, dull, when there's no freshness, we stop feeling joy. Novelty is the spice of life, and without it, everything tastes bland. In this week's Torah portion, it's a very difficult passage. A story about a soldier who, in the heat of the battle, notices a pretty woman, and he wants to marry her. The Torah doesn't recommend it, but allows and understands human weaknesses in the heat of the battle. And the Torah actually gives him a cooling off period where the woman has to sit mourning for her family for 30 days before he can marry her. And the Torah uses the word for 30 days. It says, Yerach Yamim. Yerach means a moon cycle. In Hebrew, usually the word for month is Chodesh. So what's the difference between Chodesh and Yerach? So the word Yerach, which means Yareach, means a moon, and Chodesh means month, comes from the word Chadash, renewal. So the difference between Yerach and Chodesh is Yerach talks about the cycle, the orbit, and it happens again and again, and it's the same old, same old. But Chodesh, when you use the word Chodesh for month, which we usually do, like 99.9% of the times in the Torah, it uses the word Chodesh. It means renewal. It comes from the word Chadash. Chodesh, Chadash in Hebrew. So, we have two ways of saying the word month. One is Yerach, which means a cycle, repetition, repeats itself, same old. Another one is Chodesh, with the Torah, which means Chadash, renewal. When the Torah talks about the captive woman, it uses the word Yerach, because this is not the basis for a lasting marriage. It's not built on a connection. He saw her, he was attracted to her, and this attraction may turn out to become fatal. In contrast, when the Torah talks about a real marriage, it says, Ki yikach ish isha chadasha. When a man will marry a new woman. But the newness over here doesn't necessarily mean young. It means keep the relationship fresh and new, say our commentaries. That's why in the Jewish ketubah, in the marriage contract, the word chodesh is used for the time, the space, the month. In get, in the divorce contract, the word Yerach is used, which symbolizes breaking. And the same thing is with our relationship, which symbolizes a cycle that is not necessarily built on renewal. The same thing is with Rabbi. Somebody once asked Rabbi Adin Steinsaltz, very famous, great man, how do you pray every single day using the exact same words every single day? Rabbi Steinsaltz, wise man, he said, the words are the same, but I'm not. I'm a different person today from whom I was yesterday. He's a sharp man, Rabbi Steinsaltz, and he said, if you are the same today like you were yesterday, then it's you who are boring. It's not the words. Change. Judaism has this in many areas, especially known as the area of the family purity, Torah Mishpacha, where the laws of Jewish marriage require for a couple to separate for a part of each month, and then reunite. Separate, reunite. Separate, reunite. Why? Because routine kills passion, and distance creates longing, and renewal brings back excitement. Psychologists agree with this, and they say that a constant pleasure stops being pleasure. It's actually a word from the Baal Shem Tov. If you eat pizza once, it's great. If you eat it every day, you'll get sick of it. And the same thing is with our spiritual life and our relationships. And the big question is, why is it that we need this novelty? Why is it that we constantly need renewal? What is it inside of us that's pushing us? And here's the crunch. Because man, the woman is in man. We were created in the image of our Creator, who is a creator. And by definition, a creator is one who creates something new, always bringing something new into existence. We need to create. We need to refresh, to innovate. Otherwise, life is empty for us. So novelty isn't just nice. It's part of our spiritual DNA, because we are part of God and we are like God. We are created and function in the image of our Creator. So we constantly need novelty, newness. We all know that this applies in every area of our lives. In our daily prayer, 3 times a day, the same words. In our mitzvot, in our Shabbat, tefillin, everything becomes routine if you don't instill it with newness. King David said, one thing I ask of you, I want to dwell in the house of God. Shifti beveis Hashem. I want to live there in the house of God. Kol yemei chayai. All the days of my life. Lachzot b'noam Hashem. To bask, to see the pleasantness of God. Ulevaker beheichalo. Ulevaker means then to visit in his chambers. Now wait, what does he want? Does he want to live there or visit there? The Hasidic Rebbes say both. He wants to live there like a visitor. He wants to be there, but like it's the first time. Be there always, but each time like it's the first time. The Zohar says, the Kabbalah teaches, that the month of Elul that we are in right now, it's 30 days of our soul crying out to God. Our soul is captive here in this world, and it's mourning for its parents, for God Almighty. Like this woman, this captive woman who's crying for her parents. The Zohar says this is the story of our soul during the month of Elul, where we have an ability, an opportunity, a chance to make our Judaism feel new again before Rosh Hashanah. This, parenthetically, this Thursday is going to be Chai Elul, the 18th day of Elul. In 1698, I think, was the birth date of the founder of the Hasidic movement, the Baal Shem Tov. And he said, among many other things, he said, constant pleasure is no pleasure. We need to add renewal into our lives. And the Rebbe expanded on this and expounded and said that we have a mitzvah. Yivdu es Hashem b'simcha, serve God with joy. And az tit'aneg al Hashem, serve God with pleasure. He says, how can you have joy and pleasure in things that happen all the time? Over and 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 over. Isn't it getting boring? Yes. We need renewal. Therefore he says, Kol Yom, there's another passage that fixes that. Kol Yom yu beinecha kachadashim. Every day, the whole experience of Mount Sinai, God talking to us, giving us the Torah, giving us the mitzvah. Every mitzvah we do should be new. It's like we've never done it before. Like our very first time. And the Rebbe lived this teaching. Every year, a new campaign. Mitzvah, Mivtzah, Mezuzah, Shabbos candles, Torah, house full of books, family purity, going out, taking care of our soldiers, the poor. Every year, another wild campaign that the Rebbe spoke of. He didn't just speak of it. Late in his 80s, it was noticed. People became aware that the Rebbe himself would add a new stringency, a new minhag, a new custom every single year. Imagine the Rebbe of all Rebbes, perfect Jew, adds every year he found something more to do. So a little bit of a crazy story. I'll just share it real quickly, where you can find out how can the Rebbe improve on himself. How could that even be? So one time, in short, the Rebbe would bless people in many different ways. He would give dollars for blessing, and sometimes he would send a bottle of mashke, a bottle of a vodka, as a gift for the community. So every year there was a matzah bakery in Kfar Chabad in Israel, and every year the director of that matzah bakery would write a note into the Rebbe and tell him what they're doing, and the Rebbe would send out a bottle of mashke for the community. This was months before Passover. One year he didn't send that mashke, the vodka out, and this man was very upset about it. Like, what did I do wrong? So they asked the Rebbe, and the Rebbe said, this year I accepted upon myself a new stringency to be extra careful with chametz on Pesach. And therefore, when you wrote to me about the matzah bakery's proceedings, this was my stringency, not to associate a bottle of vodka, which is pure chametz, with the matzah bakery. It was anything to do with matzah. So here we see how we could find even very, very refined ways of growing, of achieving even more stringency in our already perfect lives, like we are all perfect, right? So here's the message of this week's Parsha, Teitzei, where it talks about marriage, it talks about divorce, it talks about captives, and so many other things. That there's Chodesh and there's Yerach. Chodesh in a month means renewal, Yerach means repetition. If you want to stay alive happily, you need Chodesh. If you want to stop living Yerach, you need to start living Chodesh. If you want renewal in your life, if you want excitement in your life, you need to infuse it with new ways, with new excitement in your life, in your marriage, in your service to God. You have to choose Chodesh. There's only two places in the Torah where the Torah uses the word Yerach. It's right over here with a captive woman, and when Moshe's mother sent Moshe out because the Egyptians were going to find him and kill him as a baby. It says, "Vatitzbenehu Yerach Yamim," or Shlosha Yerachim. Vatitzbenehu Shlosha Yerachim. She hid him for 3 Yerachs, so she thought she was losing him, and therefore the Torah uses the word Yerach. But it's repetition that kills the joy. Renewal creates it. So we can choose renewal. And thank you to Rabbi Shneur Ashkenazi for these beautiful teachings. God bless you. God bless everyone. Oh, God bless America and all of us everywhere. The Hitro Shabbat Shalom. Share.